the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From a place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, it's a build up live, and I've got Pete with me. How are you, Pete?
I'm very well, thanks, Tony. You?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Sorry about the late start, guys, but
Right.
sorted out now. Had to reboot the computer because my camera wouldn't work. So, Trolls is in. Hey all. Hi, Trolls. Hope you're well. Paul says, my word, never had a debate with a guy who doesn't know the difference between a forward and a right winger, and a right winger is a midfielder with an attacking role. You know, you get these, Paul. That's the problem. You know, you get people that are very opinionated, and people talking to Trolls. Troll says, did someone really understand the difference? Well, yeah, you would like to hope they do, don't you? Luke says, afternoon, everyone. Afternoon to you, Luke. Hope you're well. Paul says, no, he doesn't get the concept of what it is whatsoever. Proper stressing me out knowing he's wrong but thinks he's right. Yeah, there's people like that out there, and you just got to let go over your head, guys. Ian says, afternoon, Tony. Afternoon, Ian. Hope you're well. How are you, the lads? Hi, Tony. Hi, mate. Hope you're well as well, mate. Troll says, yeah, just got to say, and never debate that person ever again. Yeah, some people just like to go on and on and on and have an argument out of nothing, and it's like, if I answer something like that, I just don't bother answering, because I think, well, what's the point? Because you ain't going to get anywhere. Howie the lad says, hi, everybody. Paul says, told him to Google it and ignored him. Yeah, absolutely. Best way to do it as well. Julie J, afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. People speak to Julie, and Rolly says, hi, Pete and Tony. Hi, Rolly. Hope you're well.
Doing well, Rolly?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before we get into anything, guys and girls, if you like what you see, then please smash the likes. It does help the channel up the search results and makes it found easily, so make sure you smash those likes, please. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow, and bell notification tells you when I'm live, have an upcoming show, or any pre-records. I'm now on 363 subscribers, so 37 away now from 400. So it'd be great if I got to there by the end of February. 2 more comments has come in. I have a good feeling about tonight, but not predicting no, says Trolls. Yeah. Howie the lad says, rest Miggy and Wilson play ASM right, Gordon left, and Isak centre. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. Paul says, I think ESM will start. House said he's a player who needs to run a games to get going. Yeah. Rolly said, I think we go and change today. Do you know what, Rolly? I think that as well, mate, if I'm all honesty. And Julie said, I'm wondering if Eddie Howe will make some much needed changes. Again, Julie, you know, with Eddie Howe, we don't know. We're second guessing, I suppose, at the moment, but we shall find out. And Trolls says hi to PD.
You well, Trolls?
I mean, the moment in the Premier League results as it stands at the moment, obviously the early game today was West Ham 1, Chelsea 1, West Ham having a goal ruled out for offside. and it was a tad unlucky because it was literally just offside.
It was.
Arsenal currently 0-0 against Brentford at the Emirates. Palace 0-0 with Brighton.
Yep.
Fulham are 1 up against Forest at the moment. Leicester were 1 down to Spurs, but are now 2-1 up. James Maddison getting the second goal. And Southampton are currently ahead against Wolves, 1-0 at St Mary's. So that is your afternoon scores in the Premier League so far.
I've got to say, with West Ham Chelsea, Chelsea absolutely robbed of a blatant penalty. I've got.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the end. Yeah. Souček, that was definitely a handball, wasn't it, Pete? I mean, how did VAR say they can't get involved in that? Surely that's a clear and obvious error.
He stopped that ball. He stopped that ball aiming for goal.
Yeah, so I don't get what they're doing. I really don't.
I mean, it's just, there's no consistency at all.
No, that's the problem. That is the problem at the moment. And obviously, any local scores in the Championship, well, Middlesbrough 1-1 at the moment with Cardiff after being 1-0 up. And the Mackems aren't playing today, I don't think. So there we go. Oh, sorry, they are playing. They're 0-0 at home at the moment at the Stadium of Plate to Reading. So there we go, guys. So
Andy Carroll and Hendrick are playing as well.
Oh, do you know, I'd love to say Andy Carroll score because I tell you what, he'll celebrate like mad, won't he? I mean, he'd go over and he's celebrating. He'd probably get a yellow card, to be fair. But yeah, let's see what the comments are now that we got in. Paul says, do you think their fans will cheer more for Hull than their own manager? Do you know what it is, Paul? I said this to Craig the other night, and I'll ask PD about this in a moment. I mean, I said to Craig Beasley, who I had on my channel the other night, who, if you watched the preview, which a lot of you did, I said to Craig, look, Eddie Howe coming back to Bournemouth for the first time, surely your fans, and I'm sure they will do, give him a fabulous reception, because at the end of the day, for what that guy's done for Bournemouth, you know, not only he kept them up from going down from the Football League, they were literally going to non-league until he took over, but he kept them up, stopped them going down, then he got them up through the divisions, kept them in the Premier League for 5 years. That guy's done a fantastic job for Bournemouth. Yeah, he had 1 year out where he went to Burnley and it didn't work. And he has got to get a great reception when he goes back. And I'm sure he will. I'm sure the Bournemouth fans will. I mean, you know, I said this to Craig. I'm sure your fans are pretty great that way. And he said, yes, they will do. Absolutely. I mean, Pete, can you see an excellent reception from the fans? But obviously, once the whistle goes, after that, it'll not be a reception for him.
Well, yeah, I think they've got to. I mean, a lot of the fans will remember what he did, stop them from going down, tumbling down the leagues into non-league, brings them into the Premier League. Kind of got robbed from going down as well after the Villa Sheffield United game, where Sheffield United should have won that, which would have sent Aston Villa down. Oh, I think he will get a great reception from them, definitely. I think Fraser will get so much pelt as if he's there. Wilson's a bit of a tricky one, I've got to admit, but I think you've got to give Eddie Howe a great reception to consider what he done for Bournemouth as well. I think he will give them a great reception as well.
Yeah, I think he will, and yeah, and Jason Tyndall too. I know he was manager for a bit and it didn't really work out, but still, he was part of that revolution under Eddie Howe. So, Troll says, "I'm good, thank you, Pete. How are you?"
Very well, thanks, Trolls.
There we are. Answered your question, Trolls. Julie says, yeah, Eddie keeps his cards close to his chest. Yes, he certainly does, that's for sure. Chelsea seem to be flying at the moment, laughing, says Trolls. Yeah, don't they just? I mean, they had 2 goals ruled out as well, didn't they? So,
well, one. Oh, yes, I did. I forgot. Yes.
Spurs are shocking defensively today, says Rowley. Are you watching the game, Rowley? Because I haven't got any. I'm not watching any games.
Well, they're out with Romero the day, so that's
and Nola Reese.
Nola Reese as well, yes.
Julie says Chelsea fans and meltdown. Yes, they are absolutely. Paul says, say that PD. We have a go against them. We've had them go against us plenty this season.
Yes, we have, yeah.
Yeah, the VAR checks, yeah, definitely. How are you, the lads? Chelsea were very good in the first half hour.
Mm.
Yeah, they went ahead, didn't they, through Joe Felix. Sefton's in the house, talking about being stressed. He says all morning, fixing a burst pipe. He's earned 30 brownie pounds. Hi, all. Hi, Sefton. Well, I hope you got it fixed, you know, and you put a few bandages on there, have you, to repair the damage, or have you gone out and bought some new piping? Let me know how you've got it, and what sort of burst pipe was it? Rowley says, you're right about the penalty in the West Ham Chelsea game. Yeah, it was nailed on, but why VAR? Don't look at this. And the thing is, guys in the chat, get involved in this, and girls, I mean, why isn't VAR saying to the referee, go and have a second look at the monitor? Trolls talking to Sefton. Paul says, seen a few sources today that Maddison is Spurs' number one target for the summer. Well, he can be their number one target, but whether he goes there, I doubt it. Depends where Spurs are. How are the lads? Mackems are playing. Got them on the accumulator for a draw. Oh, God. I don't even put a bet on them. I've got an accumulator on, and it's not going to plan at the moment because Norwich were on that and they're getting beat. Ian says, bit annoyed today. Both my teams, Newcastle and Celtic, on the half five, can only watch one live. Well, Ian, you can always record one, but make sure you're watching the team in black and white, mate, not the green and white stripes. Watch the black and white stripes. That's the one to watch, Ian. So, and I think the chat will help you out with that one and tell you, watch the Newcastle game. It may be far more exciting than the Celtic game, to be honest. At least Premier League football is a bit more competitive than the Scottish SPFL. Andrew says, yeah, you dodgy pair. Yeah, we're fine, apart from not being the dodgy. We're not a dodgy pair. What a cheek, eh, Pete?
No, he's just having
just because he gets up with stuff. Sefton says, be our o'clock. Oh, yes, Sefton. Yeah, I've got one there in front of me now. So there you go. Kit on, ready for the game? Yeah, we're going to watch it. They'll play. I've got the blue one on. Pete's got the white one on.
I think they'll play in this one. If Bournemouth are black and red, I think it'll be this one.
Probably, yeah. Although I haven't got the white one anyway, Pete. Bournemouth will sit back. Yeah, again, this is where now, and this is what I mentioned yesterday, we've now got to start being more cute when we've got teams who are hard to break down. We've got to be a bit more cute in those areas. We've got to think, right, hang on, this team's going to stop us from playing and they're going to be parking the bus. So what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we get ahead of the game, and we've got to make sure we break these teams down. And we've just got to be a bit more clever in how we do our passing. Because one, trying to thread it through the eye of a needle and their defender gets it, and then off they go. So let's go out there and let's just be that little bit more cute and have a little bit more nous above these teams, because if we do and we get past these teams, they're then going to have to come out and play. So that's what you got to do. You got to try and draw them out to play and then act on their counter-attacks. So we'll see how we get on today, and I'm sure Eddie Howe's probably done all the training for that. Ball says Lloris isn't exactly a big loss, is he? Always a mistake away from a goal.
Very error-prone this season.
Yeah, apart from when he played against England in the World Cup and he decided to have a great game. Andrew says, we're going to play like Brazil today. I can feel it. Gonna pezzle them. Do you know what, Andrew? I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. But I'm still going 2 now, Andrew. But, hey, if we do it, then, hey, why not? Troll says, we've been told we can't buy the league and we haven't spent that much. Then there's Chelsea. Do you know what it is, Trolls, right? This is what really annoys me. People go on Newcastle, like a lot of the fan bases and a lot of pundits, Newcastle are in 4th place because they're in the top 4 because of bought their way there. Well, sorry, that's a load of bollocks, right? Now, the fact is, yes, we've spent some money. We've brought in a few quality players. But for Christ's sake, give the credit to the players that are already at the club. Give credit to the likes of Joe Linton, who's had his game changed under Eddie Howe. Give credit to Almiron, who again's had his game changed by Eddie Howe. Give credit to Sean Longstaff, who's come in and doing a great job. So all these pundits out there and fans are talking a lot of bollocks because we have not bought our way. If anybody's buying our way to try and get into Europe, it's Chelsea. But nobody's saying nothing about Chelsea trying to buy their way into Europe. Not at all. And this really does pee me off because at the end of the day, yes, we have spent over 200 million, but it is players we needed. We brought quality in. We brought Premiership quality in and experience. Kieran Trippier, 12 million quid. Absolute fucking bargain. Sorry for my language, but an absolute bargain, guys, right? Then we bring in Dan Burn, 12 million. What a bargain he's been. He's even kept Target out the team, playing at left back. Sven Botman, £35 million. Fantastic centre half. Man U pay 80 million quid for Maguire. He's a heap of crap. He's a donkey. But look at Sven Botman. He's a Rolls Royce. £35 million, guys. Nick Pope in goal. 10 million quid. England international goalkeeper. Bargain. Bruno. 40 million. Bargain. Probably worth now. So the thing is, yes, we've gone out and bought players in. Yes, okay, Isak cost us 58 million plus 5 million add-ons, so that's 63 million in total. But still, we haven't gone out stupid like buying Mudryk for 100 million, Enzo Fernandez for 107 million. People like that. So we haven't gone out stupid like Chelsea have. And we haven't ruined FFP like Chelsea have, putting them on ridiculous 8-year contracts and paying for Mudryk in 6 instalments, No wonder now they've cracked down on that for next season. And, it really, really does rail me when people say we are buying our way at the top 4. We have not bought our way in the top 4. We have done it through buying quality players in at great prices. And not only that, we have a great manager in Eddie Howe and his coaching staff. Let's not forget, it's not just Eddie Howe, it's his coaching team. And that's right down to his stats guys who sit in the computer room looking at everything on computers. So, these people out there want to stop talking bollocks and start giving us credit where credit is due. And that is because we have played some great football this season. Fantastic football, in fact. A brand of football that we have not seen at this football club for a very, very long time because we've been starved of this. Now we are finally showing what we can do. We're in a cup final. Yes, we're out the FA Cup. I don't care about the FA Cup now. I couldn't care we're out of that, to be fair. We're in the cup final of a major final still. We're in the Carabao Cup final. We're 4th in the Premier League, And I just think, where we are is on merit. I mean, Pete, do you agree with me? And what's your thoughts?
Absolutely,
Sorry
yes.
for the
Absolutely, I do, yes, as well. It's just like, it's 3-1 to Leicester now.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely agree. We haven't bought our way there. It's all down to the players. Eddie Howe, get this team up prepared for this season. We are where we are for a reason. And as you mentioned, we're off to Wembley as well. Somewhere we haven't been in over 20 years as well. We've done it.
Yeah.
We've been putting the performances on the pitch. Maybe some games haven't been great, but we've come out with the results we have needed to get where we are this season in terms of being in the league and being in the final of this Carabao Cup. One game away from winning a domestic trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. And, what's going to happen if we win that? Are they going to say we bought that as well? Well, not really, no, because, to get through, yes, we played a League Two side in Tranmere in that second round, but after that, every other team's been a Premier League team.
Yep.
Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, Southampton, to get to the final. So they can't say we've done it we've got lucky with a draw and played like League Ones and League Two teams all the way, because we haven't. So these people need to have a reality check. And but guys, currently at the moment, the half-time scores: Arsenal 0, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Fulham 1, Forest 0, Leicester City 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and Southampton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1 in the Premier League. And in the Championship at the moment, it's currently Cardiff City 1, Middlesbrough 2. So Middlesbrough back ahead against Cardiff. And also at the Stadium of Plate, it's Sunderland 0, Reading 0 at half time. So come on, Redden. Let's do your worst and beat them. Especially Andy Carroll. I'd love to see him score against the Mackhams. That would just be absolutely fantastic, that wouldn't it? That would just be the icing on the cake. Andrew, someone's due a hammering, says Paul. Yeah, absolutely. Troll says, come on, guys. It's great Chelsea didn't get that penalty. Well, yeah, it is, isn't it? One on TV, one on phone, says Paul. Andrew says, hey, we've got the main tops on. I'm in black and white. Oh, well done, mate. Yeah, so we've got one of each on. Paul said, I've got me 130 one on today. We normally win when I wear this. Well, hey, Paul, I hope so. If we do, you'll have to keep wearing it every game, mind. So make sure. Julie wearing the same shirt as Pete. Lovely. And Luke says, Gordon's first goal today for the team. Do you know what? That would be absolutely great. Brilliant if he did. I'd love to see celebration. Sefton says, new pipes, Tony, and outside tap. Lots of sellotape. Sellotape? Oh, that's not very good for waterproof, is it? Troll says, we need to pass faster to our wingers so they have some space, in my opinion. Yeah, we do. Definitely. Gary says, Fulham 1, Forest 0, lads. Yeah. 35-yard volley, says Andrew, about Gordon. Julie says, I like that move where Anthony Gordon cut inside and laid the ball onto Wilson. Yeah, just a shame Wilson didn't get an own goal properly and the defender got back. More of that, please. Absolutely. Paul says, it feels like it's been ages since the two played. Can't wait for today. It's only been a week, Paul. It's only last Saturday. But I know what you mean. Yeah. Andrew says, Wilson hat-trick first off. Bet you a pint. Hey, that would be great, wouldn't it? Wilson's already said that if he scores, he will not be celebrating. So don't get surprised when he scores and doesn't celebrate. It's just out of respect for Bournemouth because it's his first game back there as well. Paul, what's more bollocks is never seen we're hanging on yet. Man, you are in the title race. Well, exactly that, Paul. You know, remember, Man U's got to go to Leeds tomorrow, and that won't be easy at Ellen Road, that's for sure. And they'll be up for it. Sefton says, hi, Pete. He's my top podcaster alongside Tony and Chris. There you go.
Well, thanks, Sefton.
Troll says, credit to share. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew says, Neville's a muppet. Yes, he is. Troll says, I'm in black and white. Nice one. Says, never leaving. Ryan says, question for you, Pete and Tony. If Newcastle continue to draw out games but not concede many, does it show what the priority in the summer is since the World Cup? That we are 4 draws and 2 wins. I mean, it'd be nice if we go through the rest of the season without losing another game. Yeah. And it's quite possible that could happen. We just got to start turning some of these draws into wins.
That's it.
But even if we do get a draw, I still see it's a positive because it's a point. It's a point extra on you. If you're losing games, you get nothing. So at least you're getting something for drawing a game. Yes, it's not great. It's only a point. And people might say we're draw specialists, but a point's a point. And obviously if it stays the way it is now, that Leicester are winning 3-1 and they stay winning, then it makes it better for us tonight because if we go out there and win, we're 4 points again ahead of Spurs. And that's what we need to do. Pete, what's your thoughts on that question from Ryan?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is a point, but I think some of these games will have come a bit short at times, I think, where we should have come out and thinking that's the one we should have looked to have got 3 points in that one. You would say, like, West Ham, Bournemouth at home. You could say Palace, but we got robbed, even though we were robbed in that game. So, yeah, I can kind of understand it is a positive, take the point, but you were also looking back at it thinking, should have been 3 points in that game. Should have been. What? It kind of shows we still need some more squad depth and quality within the side as well. So,
yeah, I definitely think we'll strengthen in the summer. I think we'll be busy in the summer because January is a funny window to shop in. It's better in the summer, to be fair. Some of these players that you might want in January, which might be highly inflated, but in the summer you get them a lot cheaper. So It's definitely the reason, I think, why we haven't gone stupid in January. Paul says there's 5 Newcastle players in the FPL team currently for accumulating the most points this season. Let that sink in. Absolutely, Paul. We've broken a lot of records this season. Ian says just jealousy because they know we're a threat now. Absolutely, Ian. Andrew says, go on, Tony, lad. Hey, Andrew, I just put it out there, mate. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I'm sick of the fact that we don't get the credit, and if they'd done their research and their homework a little bit more, and I'm not just talking about fans from other clubs, I'm talking about these pundits who are supposed to be super at their job. Well, you're not that super if you can't do your research. Troll says 3-1 to Leicester, yeah. Jabba Dabba Do 1, Ari, yeah, we're absolutely fine, mate. How are you? And thank you for your subscribe the other day. Rolly says 3-1 Leicester, yeah. Paul says, first time I've ever seen you go on a passionate rant, Tony. Oh, I can do them, mate. I do them. But I tell you what, it just, at the end of the day, what irks me the most is the fact is when people go out their way to have a go at us and say we're spending our way. And I'm sorry, but we are not spending our way. And if we were going out there buying £80 million players, like 3 or 4 of them in the one window, then okay, people might say, right, okay, you are spending your way, but we're not. Our owners are doing things sensibly. We've got to be in with FFP restraints. But the thing is, though, once we start getting these sponsors coming in and the money starts coming into the club and the club generates its own funds, that FFP thing gets wider and wider for us, and it gives us a little bit more leeway. And that means we'll never spend above our means, which we'll never do anyway, because we'll have the good sponsors in the club. So, as much as people were disappointed about January, let's be faithful and hopeful that in the summer we'll be, and I think we will be very busy in the summer, and I think we'll do a lot of business. So that one up, yeah. Jabba Dabba Do. Do you hear what's Talk Sport? I try not to listen too much to them, but it just really grinds on you sometimes with Talk Sport because, Jason Cundy wants Man United to win the Carabao Cup. What's he on? That guy is just a muppet. I'm sorry. At least I've got a bit more respect for Jimmy O'Hara because I think he leans more towards us. And he thinks it would be better if we won the Carabao Cup because he says we haven't won a cup since 1969, which he's right. And he says, can you imagine the scenes if Newcastle win the trophy? It'll be absolutely fantastic. And he wants to see us win it. So, take no notice of what Cundy says. He's bitter because of the way Chelsea are playing at the moment as well. Mark says, I think there's positive coverage out there. Jamie Carragher said on the overlap alongside Arsenal, we're one of the most exciting teams to watch. I think the overspending is a tired argument. Absolutely, Mark. And I haven't seen the overlap from that, but we are one of the most exciting teams to watch. And absolutely well said. Gary says 100% agree with you, Tony. Yeah, thank you very much. John, you mean Jason Cundy is a prick and will never win a trophy? Says we will never win a trophy, yeah.
Or take the D and Y out of his surname and stick a T on there as well.
yeah, you could do, yeah. Paul says, breaking news, Premier League team spends money in the transfer window like every other team. Bournemouth spent more than us in Jan. Exactly. Yeah. Where's Bournemouth? What's going to happen if Bournemouth stay up? Are they going to see how they spent their way out of relegation? Because that's what they did with us last year. They said, we're spending our way out of relegation. Mm-hmm. No, we were just buying experienced players in to help the squad out and to get us up that table. And that was Eddie Howe's job to keep us in the Premier League, which he did. Mm-hmm. And he didn't just do it by a thin margin. He done it by a massive margin. Mark says, think we have to learn the negative views will be there because the owner has the jealousy is right, but we should also learn to ignore it. Can't please everyone. No. The only reason I come out with it was because I'm just sick and tired of it. And I just think, some channels, I'm not saying all channels, but some channels, I know there's other channels out there that are probably just like me, having a go like that. But some of them will just sit back and just say, well, okay, whatever, but I don't. I'll tell her how it is, and if, that's it. And I'll tell you what, if Jason Cundy wants to come on here, he's quite welcome to come on here. But I don't think he would. Don't think he'd have the balls to do it. Joel says stadium without sight. Probably a stadium without fans, more like, because there's a lot of empty seats there, isn't there? Luke says, we are where we are because we deserve to be there. We're hard work and bringing in the right players and improving the players we already have at the club. Yeah, definitely. What do you think of that, Pete?
Totally agree with that. Absolutely agree.
Sefton, do we know who the referee is for Wembley? Haven't got a clue, Sefton.
Not sure
I don't even think it's been announced yet. So
no, I think we'll hear more towards the day when they come.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not Craig Pawson.
Oh, he had us.
Today we've got Stuart Atwell as referee and Andrea Marin as the fourth official. So God help if Stuart Atwell gets an injury, we'll have to put up Andrea Mariner for the game.
Oh, God. That was the same referee at Southampton in the first leg of the Carabao Cup. It was Stuart Atwell, and I'm pretty sure Andrea Mariner was on VAR as well.
Yeah, but VAR today is Tony Harrington from Hartlepool.
Oh, Tony Harrington.
Paul said, I'll tell you something, man, you have got to go to Leeds and get something tomorrow. Keegan vibes from then you, Tony. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. They've got to go to Leeds and get something. And I mean, yeah, Leeds were 2-0 up and probably should have won that game the other night. They were unfortunate. But I think the problem with Leeds was when I watched that game, the Leeds team started tiring a bit. And Man U brought on subs like Sancho who had a bit more energy. Mm-hmm. So they were able to get that equaliser in. But Man U could have gone on and won that game. But Meslier was unlucky with the second goal from Sancho because he was unsighted. Had he had a clear sight of it, I don't think Sancho scores. And maybe Leeds hang on 2-1. But, yeah, Leeds played well. And they're probably doing that because they're probably saying to the owners of the club, see what Jesse Marshall's doing to the club? Look how well we can play with a bit of freedom. Mm-hmm. Joel says we need wins soon and more than 1-0 in my opinion. We might even lose out in Europe. I don't think that'll happen. I think Eddie will keep the feet on the ground. I think last week, after the cup exploits, I think it was a bit of the emotions were still high and it was trying to get everybody back down to earth. And hopefully now they're all back down. Even Eddie doesn't want to talk about the cup final because he says we've got 2 games before that. And he's absolutely spot on. Julie says, Tottenham getting hammered. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Rory says, trolls. Andrew says, we are where we are because of an amazing coach and team. Absolutely, Andrew.
Yep.
Totally agree. Andrew says, Cundy's a spelling mistake. Paul says, we spent within the FFP requirements, so this sort of spending crap isn't even an argument.
Absolutely.
No, exactly, mate. Totally agree with you. Even Andrew agrees with him. Alan says, did you watch Cundy for that about wanting Man U preferred win? Yeah. And the guy's a muppet, Alan. He really is. Joel says, of course, we paid our way out the relegation battle. That's how most clubs do it if they can. Exactly, Trolls. Exactly. Everton got out the relegation zone last season at home because the Gladys Street end helped them out at their home ground. Because they love that Gladys Street end, don't they?
Oh, yes.
They're going to miss that when they go to that new stadium. But that new stadium may make its debut in the Championship next season.
Oh.
Yabba dabba do. I think Cundy didn't get laid. He's a cranky old man. His wife don't like a swole breaker. Well, don't know. We don't know. But of course, Cundy wouldn't, says Julie. Trolls talking to Andrew. Andrew says it's Mike Dean.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Mike Dean won't be the referee in the final. Hi, chap, says John. Hi, John. Hope you're well. Paul says Joe Linton needs to be on his best behaviour today. Yes, he does. Absolutely. I don't want to see any yellow cards for him. I don't want to see him dive. I want him to just go in the game, get through that game, and then be done with it. Because I do have a feeling, and I'll ask you as well, Pete. I mean, the way Joe Linton plays, he plays on the edge. I think he will definitely get a booking against Liverpool next week. Do you reckon, Pete?
Wouldn't surprise me. So we need him to avoid getting a 1-2 away from a 2-game ban. We don't want him out of the Carabao Cup final. Hopefully he knows that as well, because he knows how important this is. So he's got to try and just keep us cool. Definitely today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yabba dabba do. We've got Bruno in the middle. Yes, we have Bruno in the middle, but he can't play until the final. But we have him back for the final, just like they've got their Casemiro back.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't frighten us. And as I told you last week, it's because he fears how the two will challenge his team, not a pref for Man U. Yeah, true. Chelsea might not even make Europe this season. Neither might Liverpool. Joe says, good afternoon, guys. Come on, you mags. Yeah, thank you very much. Nice to see you, Joe. And if you're new to the channel, mate, hit that subscribe. Cheers. Thank you very much. John says, how is Chelsea getting around the FFP? That's a good question, John. I haven't seen their accounts personally, but I think because they've had a lot of club money generated, but then I think because Bowley took out that £400 million loan, yep. I think that sort of helped it. And yeah, they've got around it somehow. Troll says, Mike Dean can yabba dabba do one. Sorry for using your name, but just fitted at the moment. Paul says, long contracts and money paid over time, John. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Well, that comes to an end next season, because next season, if you sign a player, they can only have a maximum of 5-year contract. Foxy says, don't mind Cundy, to be fair. Been through a lot in life, and if he wants Man U to win, that's fine. Shows that fans are worried about Newcastle now. That's good news for us. Means we're doing well. Yeah, that's true, Foxy. And yeah, I mean, you know, when Neville come out and said, oh, we're hanging on to the top 4, and, you know, that would just hang in there, and Tottenham will eventually take over and get in there. Eddie Howe, what he wants to do is print that off and stick that up in the dressing room and say to the lads, look, this is what Gary Neville's saying about our club. Mm-hmm. What do you want to do about it? And that's just motivation. That's what that is, Pete, isn't it?
Well, absolutely.
I mean, if you listen to Warren Barton, he says when he was at the Crazy Gang, Wimbledon, he said the manager Bobby Gold, I think it was at the time, used to write messages on the wall. Like, go out there, F them up and all this on the wall, and, you know, or if the team says anything about them, you write it on the wall and say, look, that's what the team has said about us, the opposition, and just rail them up, ready to go out. So Vinnie Jones and co will go out there and absolutely hammer them. Can you imagine Vinnie Jones these days with VAR? He'd be on more courts than enough, wouldn't he?
Oh, God. Yes.
What a player he was. Andrew says, if all graveyard gob Jurgen doesn't get Europe, I'll laugh. Graveyard gobbler Jurgen. Yeah. He won't be happy. Yabba dabba do, Chelsea are blood-sucking leeches. Well, as soon as you want to play, they're straight in for them, aren't they?
Yep.
Alan says, don't think they'll make Europe. Can't say that to win a game at the moment. No, I don't think they'll make Europe, if to be fair. And I hope Chelsea don't make Europe, because what I want to see is, Pete, I'll ask you this as well. I mean, if Chelsea don't make Europe, those players are surely going to be rather miffed off, and there's going to be a lot of unrest in that dressing room, isn't there, Pete?
Absolutely, there will be. This is, you've brought us in to try and get us into Europe, to try to improve the side after it's been so poor as of late. Well, sorry, you failed. You have failed miserably. But I want to go.
And if you look at Graham Potter now, because he's at the bigger club, he's starting to have a bit of swagger about him now, and he thinks he's better than everybody else, and he needs to remember where he come from, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yabba dabba do, it's Ari, truly. He's talking the trolls. Paul says, starting to see a lot going around this week, that Teeth is under massive pressure to win the next game. Yes, Mr. Teeth, Jurgen Klopp. For anybody who doesn't know who we're on about, but they should do by now, because it was me who started this off about Mr. Teeth. Yeah, Pete, if they lose on Monday, is it curtains for them, or do you think we'll get to see him at St James's Park next Saturday?
I think we'll still see him at St James's Park. I think it might just be they're just having a one-off poor season. It could be Klopp needs to know, because look at what Klopp has won. He has won the Premier League title with them. He has won the Champions League as well, and of course the FA Cup, and so he's won a lot of the major trophies there with Liverpool. I think he's just not improved his side because of how old the midfield is. The centre backs are becoming too old. We said Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a right back; he can't defend. It's like he's like he's only concentrating on one side of his squad, and that's the attack, which is just replacing Marnie with sorry, it's gone me head.
Nunes.
Nunes, yep. With Nunes, he's not looked at improving the other side of his side, squad of his side as well, and at times he's having to bring on like academy players as well, and it's like that Gakpo has not been impressive yet as well.
Yeah, he's been absolutely poor, and it looks like, everybody who was after Gakpo, he just doesn't. He's not cutting it at the moment in the Premier League. Maybe it's taken him a few games to get involved, but the Liverpool midfield, it's just so old. I'll just bring up the picture of the Liverpool midfield. You've got the Liverpool midfield there, and you've got Milner. You've got Milner there at the end. Then you've got Henderson. Then you've got Fabinho, and then you've got Thiago. That they're all ready to draw their pensions around as him as now. And that's the Liverpool midfield. It's so old now. It's being caught out in the Premier League.
Yep,
Pete loves that picture.
Absolutely. Van Dijk's becoming a lot slower. He's getting caught out. Matip's getting old now. As I mentioned, we said everything about Alexander-Arnold, who's not a right back. He's a good attacker, but he can't defend at all. And that's been the problem with Liverpool this season.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the loss of Marnie has done them over as well.
And he's coming.
I'll have a look when I get down there. Afternoon all, says Harry. Hi, Harry. Yabba dabba do. Man, you are getting takeover. How long will it take? 5 minutes compared to us? This is what I said the other day.
Well, we'll see. But Glaziers want 6 million, and they're not willing to pay over around about the 6 billion. Sorry, God, keep saying 6 million. They want 6 billion, and they're not willing to pay around about that.
I was going to say that's cheap, Pete. It's 6 million for Man U. Well, probably all they're about with anyway.
Absolutely. So this squad could actually drag on for a long time, possibly. So I think the only way that this is going to go through quicker is if Glaziers accept a bit of a low offer. But if they say 6 billion, that's it. It's yours. Don't pay that. Well, so you're not having it.
Yeah, absolutely. Still no change in the scores currently in the Premier League. And in the Championship, Borough are still 2-1 up against Cardiff. And Sunderland at the Stadium of Plate are still 0-0 with Red. Come on, Andy. Come on. Or even Jeff pop one in from this.
Sorry, there's another comment.
Harry. I'll get to these in a minute. I'll get through these. Harry says, imagine both Chelsea and Liverpool not making European football. Yeah, that's what we're all looking forward to seeing. Troll says, if Chelsea don't get Europe, they'll be forced to sell players because of FFP. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Harry says, Potter needs to get back on his magic wand and get results to back up his ego. Yeah, he needs to change his name from Graham to Harry. Andrew says, Stonehenge Muth. Paul says, they best not sack him until we play them. Yeah, absolutely. Foxy says, Chelsea showed some good moments. Do you think they'll go far in the Champions League? Just no real goal threat with Havertz. Mudryk bags the pace but hasn't shown much else so far. Yeah, exactly. Maybe Arsenal might be happy they didn't take Mudryk now. Joel says, to be honest, looks like Donkey and Shrek when he smiles. Klopp. Harry says, I think next Saturday decides Klopp's future will be gone if we fails to pick up a win. Yeah, if we beat them 4-0, he's definitely out the door. Troll says, well, we've gotten managers fired before. Yes, we have. It's absolutely brilliant. Paul was laughing, I gather that's at the photograph that I've put up with the Liverpool midfielder. Harry says, Darwin Núñez is a head case, going around headbutting players. Wonder how long it'll take before he sticks out a nut on Clippity Clop. Yeah, well, he might be in trouble because if he knocks his teeth out, they might be insured for a high amount of money. That's if they're real. They might be false for all we know. There could be implants. Bit like his brain. Andrew says, they're Irani granny pals. Yabba dabba do. Graham Potter is a plotter. He needs to know his place or he be sacked in the bollocks. Harry says, I'm sure James Milner was standing in front of me granny in the pension queue this morning. Oh, God.
Oh, my.
What have I started? Visited me grand her care home last week, and Milner was in his activities doing arts and crafts, knitting a tea gauzy.
Oh,
brilliant.
Jesus. Oh, wow. Oh, God almighty.
Ryan, gotta love deluded Man U fans singing. Yes, absolutely. And trying to sing our song as well, Ryan. Racist. The guy couldn't even sing. Did you see that, Pete?
Oh, God, that was horrendous, that.
Couldn't even sing.
Oh.
Well, guys, just over 10 minutes till the teams come out. News, by the way, not the teams coming on the pitch. Andrew says, need a crash helmet to nut Jurgen in the mouth. Ryan says, be the richest club in the world. Turns out, no, you're not. I love proving Man U. Qatar, 336 billion is their all family worth. We, Tony the Prince, who don't de-owns us, is worth trillions and pennies, really. Yeah, the royal family is worth 1.3 trillion, I believe, in Saudi Arabia. But PIF is worth nearly 600 billion pounds. So, so for what PIF are worth, Man U want 1/10 of that for their club. Harry says, I'm not surprised Klopp's got effed up teeth with that done in Turkey.
I've seen what turkey teeth look like.
Yeah. Gary says, how it drags on for the next 18 years. Yeah. I mean, looking ahead to the game, I mean, are you expecting any changes in the team or are you expecting the same lineup?
Oh, I mean, I would love to see Gordon come in. I think he deserves a chance after his impressive appearance off the bench. But we'll wait and see. The fact is, it wouldn't surprise me if Gordon started, considering he can't play in the Carabao Cup final. So it would make sense if he did get a start either today and possibly next game. It wouldn't surprise me if he was starting next game because he knows what it would feel like playing against Liverpool since he's done it for Everton as well. But I would like to see Gordon come in today for me. If he does. I wouldn't be shocked if it was the same team, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. But who knows? Eddie's always bringing up a surprise or two. So, we will find out in time. Just looking at the team pictures there. Gordon's gone in with Kieran Trippier behind him. Joe Willock's there. Mm-hmm. Joe Linton's there smiling away. And Jacob Murphy's there behind Fabian Schär. So, not long now till the teams come out. And Newcastle took a picture of the Vitality stage and put that on.
It's 1-0 Brighton.
I mean, the thing is, it's 1-0 Brighton now, is it?
Solly March with the goal.
Oh, he's on fire this season, isn't he? Yeah, Sunderland are still currently 0-0 at the moment. In Middlesbrough, still 2-1 up. And also in the Premier League, as Pete says, it's 1-0 Brighton now. Although BBC haven't updated it, they've just said still 0-0. Not a VAR check, is it?
It might just take time to refresh.
Yeah, could do. Yeah, it's a Solly March right-footed shot from the centre of the box. So there we go. That's the Solly March goal. But yeah, Leicester are still 3-1 up at the moment. Southampton are still winning. So yeah. Right, let's see what else is there. Right. Ryan says, concerned fans won't accept the clear out this summer. Some fans' favourites may leave to progress the club. I mean, look, we've got to get rid of some players in the summer.
We know
I
there's
think
a few
Lascelles will
contract.
go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think Lascelles will go in the summer. I think Jamal Lewis will go in the summer. I think Fraser will go.
Yep.
And I think we'll look to get rid of Murphy, if I'm in all honesty.
Hopefully. Dummett will be out of contract, so he'll leave.
Matty Longstaff.
Matty Longstaff. Mark Gillespie. Carrius will be another one out of contract. Who else? Richie.
Yeah.
Clark when he returns back from his loans spell. And yeah, at least we'll know there'll be a few going out the door come the end of the season.
Yeah, Clark's moved to Sheffield United permanently is in doubt now because there may be some sort of transfer embargo on Sheffield United, so that will hinder his time of going to there full time. So we wait and see. He may have to go elsewhere. Lee says 3-1 win for the Toon. Yeah, let's hope. We need to score some goals. Harry says, explains it all now. Klopp did his own teeth. He's the biggest turkey going. Brighton's one up, says John.
Yep.
Yeah. Gordon is a moron to start, says Harry. Could be a spelling error. Yabba Dabba Do says, why did Klopp settle in the UK? Don't know. Joel says Klopp had a front-to-front with a donkey, and the donkey was very disappointed getting Klopp's teeth, while the Klopp was delighted having whiter teeth.
And now it's 1-0 Arsenal.
1-0, is it?
Yeah, Trossard's got his first goal for the club.
Sure. Typical. Andrew says he'll stick with SM, get ready for the final with Gordon Cup tied, in my opinion. Yeah, could do. Ryan says, Tony, there's only one manager who's not losing his job. Sorry to see it. It's Klopp. Winning the league and Champions League gives him credit in that club. Or did you see that shit? Leighton James, Liverpool. I didn't say that, no, but yeah. I mean, yeah, he could have credit in the bank because of that. Because he's won the Champions League. But again, you know, it depends. If the fans start getting on his back, the owners might act. That's the thing. Has he got the thing is, or has he got the backing of the supporters? That's the thing. And I don't generally go on any Liverpool forums or anything like that to see, so I don't know. Yeah, but I do because I thought he was British because he's got Nashas. Ryan says, kid talk about selling you, ask for a change. Yeah. Harry says, Andy Carroll to score the win on the 90th minute. Can't wait to see the vlog reaction from the Mackhams. Well, let's put it this way, Harry. If Sunderland lose, the internet goes down. You don't hear us peep from them because the internet gets switched off in Sunderland when they lose. The only time you hear it on is when we fail to win anything and they've won a game. They start thinking they're a little bit better than us. But believe me, if Sunderland were in the Premier League now, we'd smash them. Ryan says, Newcastle have to win today. Brighton are 2 points behind us, ain't they now? Yes, they will be. They're not far away. They're having a great season. Joel says, we need to get rid of a lot of dross before we take anyone else in opinion. Yeah, we do, and I'm sure we will get rid of a lot of that as well. However, the lad says, be a bit pressure if we don't win today. Too many draws. There is too many draws. But you know what? Regardless, we're still having a cracking season. We're still well ahead of schedule, and that's the thing we got to remember.
Yep.
Harry says, personally, I couldn't care who leaves. I trust Eddie to build a squad. He will take us to the next level. Even if he got rid of ESM, for example, I wouldn't be bothered. It's the Ashley era. Yeah. See where you come from on that one. John says, Arsenal scored. Arsenal back, says Terry Mack. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Alan says, they will need to accept a clearer clubs moving forward. Get rid of players not good enough. I think players there will know they're on borrowed time. Sorry, Pete, what are we going to say there?
Palace have equalised.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Yabba dabba do. 4-0. Botman, Wilson, Gordon 2. Oh, that's confidence. I'll take that any day. Jilted John. Gordon is a moron. Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing. You're aiming it, aren't you, Harry? Yeah. Would Klopp resign, says Harry. I doubt it. No, he'd wait for his payoff. Money talks. He's another Steve Bruce. Like Steve Bruce, he likes his Brucey bonus.
Mm-hmm.
The same man who said that he left the club because he knew the owners were wanting to look for a different manager, and he recommended Eddie Howe to the owners. Sorry, Steve Bruce, you're full of shit. What do you make of that comments from Steve Bruce? I mean, is the guy deluded or what?
He is deluded. I don't believe what he comes out with now. He just talks so much bullshit. Just can't accept the fact he was a failure at this managing this club. And he's not one of us because he's a bloody Man United fan as well.
Exactly.
Watching Man United against Forest in the cup game, that just shows he's a Man United fan.
Yeah, he is, Pete. Absolutely. I mean, the man's he's not worth giving the airtime to. Lee says, can't wait for the final. Bruno will be on fire having a rest. Yes, he will, absolutely. Paul says, Fulham and Brighton need to stop winning.
Fulham's still winning, but Palace have equalised.
Yeah.
Right, team's out, Tony.
Right. Yep, the team is out. So let's have a look, guys.
Yeah.
I'll get that on screen, guys, as I normally do for us. So, okay. Right, guys. So the team news is Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Dan Burn, Sean Longstaff, Joe Linton, Miggy Almiron, Alan St. Maximum, and, wait for it, guys, it is Alexander Isak starting. On the substitutes bench, it is Martin Dubravka, Paul Dummett, Anthony Gordon, Matt Ritchie, Jamal Lewis, Ryan Fraser, Jacob Murphy, Elliot Anderson, and Lewis Miley. So there you go, guys. No Callum Wilson in the squad at all, so he must have an injury again. Are you surprised, Pete?
Well, I thought if it was Isak starting, it could just be to give Wilson a rest, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see if it's
why not even on the bench, though, Pete? That's the thing, though.
Yes. So we'll just got to wait. We'll hear more of that.
Why isn't he on the bench? I'm sure Eddie will have something to say, but I mean, it is. And if this is yet another injury to Wilson, then we need to get another striker in the summer, Pete, I'm afraid, because Wilson is just, he's, you know, and I'm not saying it lightly because Wilson, I like Wilson, I really do, and I think he's a great goal scorer, but I've always said, if we bring in another striker, next season he will be a bench player, a bench starter.
Yeah. 4-1 Leicester.
4-1 Leicester. There's the team, guys, on the screen for you. And looks like
Wolves
Spurs
have equalised as well. Wolves have equalised.
Wolves have. Oh, brilliant. I mean, the thing is, guys, I mean, this is the thing with Tottenham. They go out and beat Man City last week. This is the Tottenham we've seen this season are an inconsistent team. They go out and beat Man City 1-0.
Yep.
But this week, they're now getting mullet 4-1 off Leicester. And yes, okay, they might not have Lloris in goal or Romero playing. But at the end of the day, they should have players to come in and take their positions. And so they can't just put down the blame that they've got no goalkeeper and no centre half. So at the end of the day, it's their own downfall. I mean, Pete, what's your thoughts on Tottenham? They're a very, very inconsistent team. And it's funny because now that Conte is back. They've lost a game, but when the assistant manager was there last week, they won a game.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just how it's been like that. Oh, apparently the Leicester fourth goal's been disallowed by VAR.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Brentford have equalised at Arsenal.
Wow. Well. Oh, that's an interesting one.
But yes, Spurs so inconsistent, as you mentioned. They'll have one good game and then they'll just fall to pieces the next game, which is exactly what's happening at Leicester City.
Yeah. Yeah, because they seem to have one good game and then they just seem to, fall off the radar, don't they?
Well, that's it.
I've got the Bournemouth team for you guys and girls. So in goal is Neto, and he's the captain as well for Bournemouth today. So remember Neto at St James's Park, he was saving everything that we threw at him. They've got Stevens, Lerma, Solanke, Ouattara, Smith, Traore, Senesi, Billing, Anthony, and Zamora. And on the bench, it's Travers, Fredericks, Meffam, Christie, Rothwell, Tavernier, Vina, Semeneo, and Kifa Moa. And as I said in the reverse fixture, when we played them at home, and I was on John's channel, and we done a preview, the first thing I did say about Bournemouth, when they had the Bournemouth fan on, I did turn around, and this was back in, like I say, when we played them at home. I said, look, we have got to not give Philip Billing any space. What happened in that game? We gave him space and he scored. And that's exactly what I said. Do not give him space because he will score. And that's what he done. So hopefully this time round, we won't give Philip Billing any space whatsoever. The comments have come flying in, so I'm going to try and catch up with some of these comments because they're flying in thick and fast now. And so Harry says, Sunderland don't have internet, only get Wi-Fi once they get back into County Durham. Ryan says, if Brighton get top four and it can happen on the form right now, do we look like though we threw it away? Our chances with 10 draws showing our front line is really in bad form since that World Cup. Again, it's one of them. Where we finish it is what it is. But Isak's now got a chance. I don't know what's up with Wilson. We will find out. But whatever it is with Wilson, if Isak's now got a chance, this is his chance to stake a claim.
Yep.
And if he starts going on a run of scoring goals, then it might be a long way back for Wilson to get back in the starting lineup. Do you agree, Pete?
Could well be if Isak starts taking the goals. It's about time we see him start because he looks sharp when he comes off. Now it's his opportunity to see what he can do. We've brought this lad in. This is our record signing we have brought in. You've got, and he's a very young lad. We brought this lad in for a reason. He should be in that start lineup, without a doubt.
Yeah. Gary says Chris Wood's just been subbed again. That's a third game in a row now. Well, Forest are taking for 15 million at this rate, aren't they? Julie says we definitely need more wins under our belt. I totally agree. Ryan says 1-1. Yeah. Palace goal by James Tompkins, says Foxy. Yeah. Palace scored. Monaco hammering PSG 2-0 after 29 minutes. Oh, Foxy, I've got PSG down to win that game as well. Jesus. Shouldn't have put that on an accumulator, should I? Arsenal's 1-up, says Julie. Yeah. 4-1 Leicester. but that was ruled out. Terry Mack, what's the difference between a Man U fan and a Rangers fan? I don't know, Terry. You'll have to let us know, mate.
Absolutely.
Harry says Bruce is going to Wembley to watch a cup final with Fergie. Can't wait for cheer up Stevie Bruce.
Gonna,
give me some stick, Pete.
I'm just going to read this thing off what Lee Riders just tweeted out. Eddie Howe arrives back at Bournemouth to a great reception. People waited for Eddie Howe long before the team bus arrived. Nice touch, but no surprise.
Yeah, that is brilliant. Terry Mack says Rangers fans live closer to Old Trafford. Nice one. Ryan says Spurs being taken apart by Leicester. Yeah. Yabba dabba do. If Klopp resigns, he can join his kind munching on trees with 8 other beavers. Alan says 4-1 Conte could be off.
It's still 3-1.
Well, his contract's up the end of the season. I don't think they'll sack him. I think they'll just let him stay on. Paul says, oh my God, I didn't expect that after Wilson scoring. No, we didn't either. We didn't know that was happening. Granny's in the house.
Oh, God.
Archer's not here, unfortunately. Julie says, apparently Klopp doesn't stay at the club longer than 7 years. Interesting. Troll says, so only 2 in the midfield then. No, well, the 3's in the midfield still, isn't it? Sean Longstaff, Joe Willock and Joe Linton.
Yep.
Paul says, PD, I said last night I'm surprised how long Wilson has went without being injured.
Yep, you have.
Isak and the SM will be tasty, yet. Put the team on screen. I've already done that, Alan. Oh, yeah, because I'm behind the comments, that's why. Hope Gordon starts and drop the SM to the bench. Well, that hasn't happened, David, as you can see on the team sheet. Isak and the SM have been working together and training for months. Yeah. They'll have a good relationship together, them two, on the pitch. Wolves bagged. Yeah. Ryan says, need a top striker this summer. Take Martinez from Inter. Yes, he's 27, but he's 20-plus goal striker. We wanted Osimhen before Man U get him, as Piff wanted him over Isak. Yeah, I'll go. If we can finish in the Champions League this season, then I'd say go for Osimhen in the summer. Adam says, looks like the tube's gone on your telly, bud.
What?
No. I don't know. The tubes.
No idea what he's on.
Tellies don't have tubes now, do they? That's years ago. Brentford. Maybe we'll find out what he means by that. Score correction 3-1, says David. Anne says, Tony, we need a striker anyway. Wilson injured too much. Yeah, we do, Alan. I've said this for a long time. You know, we need a striker in the summer. And I believe we will do. If Wilson's injured, we need another striker in the summer. Can't afford to have a player injured 30% of the season, but don't get me wrong, I love Wilson. Yeah, absolutely. We all do. But yeah, I think injuries are catching up with him. We know about that. Foxy. Personally, I rate Isak over Wilson anyways. His all-round play is a lot more smarter for me. Definitely. If he had had that chance against West Ham, I don't think that defender would have caught Isak in all probability. And 40% as trolls. Far at Arsenal, indeed, Paul. Ryan says it has to be a proven striker. None of this, yes, talent, we need goals our season. Since the World Cup proves we need a proven poacher. Yeah, absolutely.
Now it's 4-1 to Leicester.
Now it is.
Yep, now it's 4-1 to Leicester.
Oh, yes, he is, Alan. Paul, this is a slightly different Bournemouth side. Still think we've more than enough to score today. Yeah, they've got pace in that team, by the way, now with Traore. And no, it's not Adama Traore, by the way. He's still at the baby oil man's still at Wolves. The only reason he can't move clubs is because somebody hasn't got a spare cupboard to stock all his baby oil.
Oh, God.
Well, have you not seen him? He oils himself up, Pete. Must think he's grease lightning. Paul says, strange at house never mentioned Wilson in the injuries question in the press conference. Maybe it's just something he's picked up today.
Could well be.
Ryan said, I honestly think Gordon is brought in to be the Miggy replacement. As at 28, someone will follow him at some point to be brought in, or the summer like Ashby for
Well,
Trippier.
Mickey's now 29 because he had his birthday yesterday.
Yes, he did. David says, I'm going 3-1 Newcastle. Yep, nice one, mate. Troll says, to be fair, Wilson might just be ill. He could be that, yeah, he's had a lot of illnesses. Joe Maguire, we need firepower on the bench, and we only have Gordon, Anderson, and Murphy. Yeah, we do. We need strength and depth, Joe, and I'm sure we'll get that. Christopher says, big decision needed on Wilson in the summer. He's a top striker, but the lad is out too often during the season. We can't afford that as we progress. Absolutely. Wilson injured, says Ian. I'm not sure. We'll find out off Eddie Howe. Ryan says, Pete, you've got to remember, Piff wanted to spend 160 million on Osimhen. Manda had to show them we would be done for FFP, hence why we got Isak.
Yeah, absolutely. Osimhen would have cost a fortune, but
yeah, he's
Isak
quality.
Isak was a very good buy.
Yeah, he was. Alan says, in fourth now, if Brighton Pippers for fourth, it's massive disappointment for me. Yeah, I think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
De Zerbi's done a brilliant job there. But John always said De Zerbi is a great manager, as John watches Italian football. Mm-hmm. Sefton says, I'm going for 3-1 the mighty Toon. Nice one, Sefton. I think he meant Peter's fuzzy background.
It's when you part of the green's shining through it. Part of the green's a bit see-through. That's the problem as well.
Leicester 4-1 now, says Foxy. Arsenal starting to crumble 1-1. Harry says, Isak's a modern day forward. I prefer him over Wilson these days. I think he's had that chance next week. West Ham defender would not have stood a chance against him, unlike Wilson. Yeah, I think Wilson just sort of was in two minds. Adam says, Andrew, my jokes usually get tumbleweeds. No worries, Adam. If you're new to the channel, mate, hit the subscribe. Thanks very much. I told you it was 4-1, says Alan. You did, Alan, yes. USC has to forget Madison. Go and buy Harvey Barnes. 2 goals against Spurs inside one. He's a real Harvey Barnes, I highly rate that kid. I mean, Pete, I like him.
He's a really good player. He really, really is. Really good player.
Sorry, Newcastle needs him to get Barnes. He's English and solves issues, yeah. Ian says it's on Sky that he's injured. Okay. I'm sure we'll find out more though when he's picked this injury up as well, which will be interesting. Yabba dabba do. If we get top 4, I make cabbage eat for Steve Bruce and mail it to him. Troll says we need better players than Barnes in the summer.
I think Barnes is a very good player.
Yeah, he is. Is Wilson injured now? Wow, is expected at some point, says Ryan. Yeah. Bad news, Sunderland are winning 1-0. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, they've got to spoil the party, haven't they? That means the internet will be on tonight in Sunderland, won't it? Middlesbrough still 2-1 up. Sheffield United are winning 2-0 against Swansea. Burnley are winning 3-0 against Preston. So you can see Burnley and Sheffield United are the 2 teams definitely coming up this season. So it's an interesting one. Andrew says Young must have just gone up. Yeah. It's quite worrying. We've only got 1 striker to rely on, says Paul. Yes, it is, isn't it? That's the thing. Sunderland winning, says Ian. Yeah. Ryan says, think about it, guys. Harvey Barnes has an over scoring winger. Ours always seems to be getting goals when Leicester are in form. He's miles ahead of any winger we have. Yes, he is a good... I really do rate him. I'd have rested Miggy for Gordon. He's had a few weeks purple patch in the 4 years. Yeah. Foxy says 2-1 Moles looks like. Yeah. Troll says, where do we put Barnes? This is it, yeah. But then again, that's all part of having a big squad. Madison scored again today. Yes, he has, Paul. He has indeed. I mean, right, hang on. Right, guys, if you like what you see, then please smash the like button. It does help the channel up the search results, so smash those likes. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It is free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And also, if you hit the bell notification, that'll tell you when we're live, have a pre-recorded show, or any upcoming shows. So thank you very much indeed, guys. But yeah, like I say, Pete, I mean, if Wilson's injured, how long is he going to be out for? That's the question, isn't it? Are you disappointed if he's got another injury?
Well, not surprised in a way because the bloke is made of glass at times. That's the thing.
Yeah, just hope he's fit for the final, though.
That's what we need.
So I'll get back to some more comments here. Foxy says 2-1 Wolves. Yeah, we saw that one. Lee says need 2 good strikers for the summer signings. Do you agree with that, Pete? Or do you think one more would do?
One, yeah, at least one. At least one, I would say, definitely.
Should we have gone all out in January to try and get Marcus Thuram for 8 million?
That would have been a really, really good ideal.
Yeah.
It's 2-1 to Wolves now.
And 10 men, according to Harry the lads.
Yeah, apparently who's been sent off? I think it's Lamina who's been sent off for them.
Yeah, second yellow card.
Yep.
I wonder if this is Nathan Jones' last match in charge then.
Yeah. And it's now 2-0 it's now 2-0 to Fulham now.
2-0 Fulham. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, Nathan Jones won't be liking this, will he?
No, definitely not.
But Sefton says, great show, lads. I'm off now. How are you, the lads? Yep, see you later, Sefton. Go and get yourself ready for the game. Ryan says, Harvey Barnes, 8 goals, 1 assist this season in the Prem. How do we not need him? He's about 25 to hit his prime. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I do rate Harvey Barnes, to be fair.
I do as well, really good player.
I mean, how much would he cost though, Pete? That's the thing.
I don't know. That's a tough one, actually.
Yeah. That is a tough one, isn't it? Why do we have Isak though, and he isn't injury prone at all? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do have Isak, but yeah, he had that injury, which we don't know what happened on Sweden's training ground, but it was a strange one because nothing was said about it, was it?
No, it wasn't, was it?
Howie the lad says I've got Akpom as a backup striker from Middlesbrough. It's all right in the Championship, but it's whether he's Premier League proven. That's the thing.
Yep.
It wouldn't normally worry me with our players like Miggy not scoring now. Yeah. Wolves just scored, says Julie, 2-1. Yeah.
Yep.
Sefton says, Auf Wiedersehen, chat. Auf Wiedersehen. Troll says, Isak has 3 goals and assists in 5 games. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the lads, Grimsby will beat Southampton in the cup. Yeah. Andrew says, donkey shite to you, Sefton. He's got a wheel with words, says Andrew. Paul says he can't be sacked. He's the best at what he does in Europe. Balls in the box, possession, XGs. Yabba dabba do. It's funny how most fans didn't like Eddie Howe. Now he's our miracle man. Thing is, though, a lot of clubs laughed at us when we took him on. Martin Samuel said, Newcastle's missed a trick. Steven Gerrard to Villa when they could have had Gerrard at Newcastle and they took Eddie Howe on. Well, who was the last laugh on?
Absolutely, exactly.
The who laugh last, laugh longest. Joel says he had that injury before he came in, got worse at Sweden. Yeah. Alan says, I think it depends on qualifying for Champions League, who we need in the summer. Yeah, it does. That depends where we finish.
Yep.
Lee says, I could see Longstaff scoring again. Yeah.
He could do. I mean, he did score the last time we were at the Vitality Stadium where we won 4-1.
Yeah. But, I mean, Pete, what's your prediction for the game tonight then?
I'm going 2-0 Newcastle. Goal scorers. I did say Wilson at first, but he's not playing, so I'm going to change that to Isak, and I'm going to go with Longstaff.
Longstaff. Yeah. Sees any change in the score with the Mackhams? No, they're still 1-0 up over Reading. Come on, Andy Carroll. Thunderbolt in the last minute. Unless he's been subbed off. Which is probably highly likely. I mean, Palace draw with Brighton's a good result for us, isn't it? Because it keeps Brighton a bit further apart from us. And although Tottenham will probably be relieved if Brighton are drawn as well. I mean, I don't get how they call that the M23 derby or whatever they call it, you know. Because Brighton and Palace are like about an hour away from each other.
Yes.
And we all remember what Rudd Hullett said about our derby, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Although you might have been a bit young then, Pete, mightn't you? Because I mean, we're going back to 98, so I don't know how.
Oh yeah, that was about definitely. I was definitely about 7, 8 years old at the time.
Yeah, when he come out and said like it's not a derby of the city, it's a derby of the region, where Milan's a derby of the city. And even Freddie Shepherd said when he heard that on the TV, he couldn't believe what he was hearing. He was like, "Well, hang on a minute, you're going to anger a lot of people here." And he certainly did. And the day after he put Shearer and Ferguson on the bench, because Shearer said, Duncan Ferguson came up to him and he said, "Alan," he says, "why are we wearing bibs for?" He says, "Aren't we playing tomorrow night?" And Alan went, "Got to be playing." He says, "We've got to be playing." He says, "He can't be keeping us on the bench. Surely," he says, "maybe it's just a mistake." And he says, a team news was announced. He says, when we were sitting in the dressing room, we thought, hang on, we're on the bench. What's going on? Yeah. And then Shearer says, Duncan Ferguson looked at him and said, "He's lost the plot."
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Is he an absolute idiot?" He says, "If two people here who could score goals and win this game for us tonight," he says, "and he's got us on the bench." And then the next morning he resigned. And Freddie Shepherd actually said on an interview, he said, "Do you know what?" He says, "I was about to sack him." He says, when he come in and he said, "Oh, before you say anything to me," he says, "I'm going to resign." And Freddie Shepherd says, "I thought for once I've actually kept my mouth shut and saved some money."
Mm-hmm.
Because it would have cost him to sack him.
Yep.
Gary says 2-0 to Wolves. Yeah, Fulham, sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Howie the lad says, "Didn't ever want Lego head above how." Yeah. Yeah, they wanted Emery, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony, I'm going to have to drop off because I'm starting my watch along in 5 minutes.
Okay, mate, no worries, Pete. But cheers for coming on. Before you go, though, Pete, let everybody know where you are and what's coming up.
So, PD Proudlock, my channel, I've got the watch along with Mr. Sinclair joining me for that. And so feel free to check out, subscribe to my channel. And social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all PD Proudlock as well. Feel free to follow me on there as well.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much, so much for coming on, Pete. And,
no problem.
Enjoy the match, mate.
Hopefully.
How are the lads?
How are the lads? Cheers, Tony.
See you later, mate.
Later, Tony.
Yes, guys. So I'm going to crack through with some comments here. Paul says ESM is going to have a blinder today. Got a few. Do you know what it is? ESM does play well against Bournemouth, and that's the thing. So he's got a very good record against Bournemouth. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does have a blinder. I'll tell you one thing I would love to see, though, is ESM right and Miggy on the left. I've shouted for Miggy to be on the left. If you look at him in MLS, he played on the left. Under Rafa for half a season, he played on the left. For Paraguay, he plays on the left and comes in. So I just wish we'd just give him that chance on the left. Ryan says, one striker there will be Joe Linton, but he can't be put up there as that would rock his confidence. Yeah, absolutely, totally agree, Ryan. Might have to use Isaac Westendorf, I think, from the reserves. Troll says, if we get Europe, we need quality, even if it is conference. Yeah, absolutely. Great show, says Trolls. Thank you very much indeed, mate. 3-0, Isak 2, Joe Linton 1, says Paul. Yep, that's a good shout, mate. That is a good shout. David says, I fancy going to score when he comes on. Yeah, absolutely. Same here, Paul. Yabba dabba do. Botman has to score. I would love to see Botman get a goal because I would love to see celebration. 3-1 Borough, says Andrew. Yeah. Alan says, got to win today. 3-1. Changed from 2-1. Yeah. I've still seen 2-0 though. Gordon can play as a number 9, says Trolls. Yes, he could do. Yeah. Christopher says, don't mind Nathan Jones, be fair. He spoke well of us during the cup tie against Saints and described our stadium as a cathedral of football. Yes, he did. He was a class act, says Paul. Yeah, absolutely. Region is bigger than a city, says how are you the lads? Yeah, absolutely. It was pathetic from who wrote Hull, and I think he'd lost the plot, to be fair. Full time 1-0. It's Sunderland, says David. Yeah. They've got another win. How are you the lads? Says Duncan. Had Hull by the throat. Yeah, that was the rumours. Ryan says we need 13 wins to secure top 4, so we need to find those firing boots. I hope Isak stays fit because he's our only striker now. Depends how long Wilson's out. 4 minutes at stoppage time at Fulham, says Gary. Thank you very much indeed, Gary. Ryan says just need to win our games in hand. Yes, we do. Exactly. And that is, we got West Ham, which is a game in hand, and we're going to have Brighton now. Full-time Arsenal draw, says Paul. Andrew says, Arsenal draw, haha. Yeah, they won like that. Take care all, and how are you the lads? How are you the lads, Trolls? Thank you very much indeed. Miggy wasn't a left wing in MLS. He was a false 9, cam behind Martinez and the main striker. Yeah, well, if you look on SofaScore, a lot of his play was down the left as well, so they've got on his heat map. So that's what I was looking at on SofaScore, and a lot of they come from there. But he did very well in the MLS. I know the MLS is a totally different league to what we play over here, but it's but like I say, he did play a lot on the left in the MLS. I mean, if I just pop this on screen, bear with me, guys. I mean, this is from before he joined us, from the MLS. Here we go, guys. So just bear with me. Get that up in a moment. Just having a bit of there we go. Okay, so there we are, guys. So as you can see there on a lot of the red line is on the left and the middle, but he does play predominantly around the left on that graph there. So that's what he does. That's what he did in the MLS. Now, if we go to the first season in the Premier League under Rafa, although it was only half a season under Rafa, so we'll go to the 18-19 season when he joined us. Again, on there under Rafa, he's more on the left there and coming in. Very rarely played right. He played mostly left under Rafa. So, but he can play. But we know how good he can play. But yeah, there we go, guys. I just thought I'd put that on screen just to quickly give you a show that he did sort of play that way as well. I'm off. Tony will tune in later. Thanks, Alan. See you later, mate. Take care. All says Shabba Dabba Do. Need to go, Tony. Yeah, I will be as well. I'll be wrapping up in just a few moments once I go through these comments. I'm off now to order dinner before the game. Great watch along, Tony and Pete. How are you, the lads? Yeah, enjoy your dinner and see you later. Goodbye and hope we all win. Yeah. Christopher says City against United is a city derby, but not as big as a Toon against the Mackhams, which is a regional derby. Don't think Hull understood the passion of our region has for footy. Absolutely, Christopher, he did not. Jake says, doesn't look like a Wilson hat-trick, what I predicted. Yeah, unfortunately. You may have to change it to Isak. Ryan says, Moore's a college footballer under 21, smashed most of their top sides as a joke. And yes, Miggy played as number 2, free roller at Atlanta behind Martinez, setting up goals. Yeah, he did, absolutely. Yes, guys, so yes, we're coming to the end of the show now. If you like what you see, please smash a like. It does help the channel up the search results. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So yeah, guys, 5:30 kickoff. Not long to go now, and show's coming to an end now. And Lee says, after watching match, Tony, come on the tune. Absolutely, come on the tune. 2-0 Newcastle. And on that note, guys, enjoy the game. Let's get the 3 points. And I should be back with the reaction show later this evening. So keep an eye out for that after the game. But from now, see you later, guys. Enjoy the game. And come on, let's get them 3 points. Away the lads.